Growing up, most life advice that you hear is along the lines of study hard and get good grades so you can find a good job and earn a good amount of money. A lot of people in different generations believe this is the case, and this is how life should be lived. Most people who get an A to A+ grade during college often think that they will become financially successful after graduating when they land a good job. But in reality, this isn't always the case. In a lot of cases, those who received an A to A+ grades during college work for those who have received C grades. Now, that statement may become a bit controversial, but let me explain that claim in this video. Hi, welcome to Grayson Finance. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why average C grade students succeed. If you've read Robert Kiyosaki's Why A Students Work for C Students, you will be able to get my point and claims almost right away. Most excelling students in schools or universities come from a family where their parents' occupations are employees, or even specialists like doctors, lawyers, and engineers. The students having parents with this type of occupation are more often than not following the steps created by their parents. These A students will then soon follow in the footsteps of their parents and adopt an occupation much like theirs. Now, most of you will think that there's nothing wrong with taking that path, but let me explain why it is. Working as a specialist, be it a doctor or an engineer, can have you earn $200,000. In that money, 50% will be deducted as your tax. The remaining money will then be used for your mortgage, car, and credit card payments. After paying all that, you will then be left with very little money in your pockets. With just a little money saved every month, you will never become rich. The problem with being an employee or being self-employed is that you pay a lot of taxes. If you're self-employed, you pay up to 60% of your salary for taxes, and that's a big chunk of deduction. On the other hand, people who pay lower taxes than employees or self-employed people are business owners as well as investors. Most of the business owners and investors are not students who got an A or A+ grade during their school or university days. Even with getting average grades, they are still able to succeed financially because they are financially smart. In order to comprehend better what I'm about to share with you, forget the teachings you've learned from your accounting classes back in college. Let's look at the basics through the lens of rich people. In a simple explanation, liabilities are anything that costs you to take money out of your pocket, and assets are everything that make you earn money right back into your pocket. What the university will teach you is that the house that you have right now is an asset of yours. Realistically, however, it's not actually an asset because it costs you money and takes money out of your pocket. Owning your house means that you will need to pay taxes every year, pay for insurance, as well as other necessary expenses. On the other hand, if you rent that house out, you will be able to receive rentals every month. Receiving rent payments as a landlord means that you're getting money in your pocket, which will turn your house into a true asset. In order to generate more income, the rich keep increasing their assets. These assets that they collect are businesses, stocks, real estate, and so on. Having all these assets, the wealthy people would be able to put money back in their pocket regardless if they work or not. It is right to assume that the rich don't work for money because in working, money would require time from them. Time is a precious resource that is only limited. These rich people will not exchange such a precious resource for money. On the other hand, the middle class more often than not have only one source of income that is their high-paying job as a doctor, engineer, or lawyer. On top of that, they have a lot of liabilities that they are mistaken to think of as assets. These liabilities, such as a luxurious car and more than one house, only make them appear rich. Once they stop working, however, most of the time, they go bankrupt. Don't get me wrong, starting up with a job is absolutely okay, but slowly and surely you need to continuously move to the other side. After graduating, you will have this urge to move to a new house as well as purchase a new car. Giving into these urges will only make you accumulate more and more liabilities, and having all these liabilities will never make you rich. Investing in assets is accompanied by a certain level of risk. Most students that are excelling in school are not used to failing. This means that failing on a certain venture would have them devastated because they don't know how to handle failure. With the risk of failing and not being able to handle the situation, most A students would then result in not trying ventures altogether because they're afraid of the results. Instead of getting other resources or sources of income, such as investment that is accompanied by risks, A students will opt to stick to their high-paying jobs because they're afraid to take said risks. They will then continue to acquire liabilities with their job, paying for all of them. Little do we know, the average student that is used to failures built up a company after so many encounters, and that company is now where the A student works at. In essence, this is how the excelling students in the universities work for the average students. If we go back to the advice that you should study hard and get good grades to be able to land a good job after graduating, this advice can be translated to: be an excellent student in college so an average student can hire you and pay you some pennies. The average student is not afraid of failure and encountered so many of them building up their businesses. It is important to always remember that the path to wealth accumulation is not instant. There will be a lot of failures that you will encounter along the way. The best thing that you need to do after encountering these failures is to try and try again until you arrive at your destination. To put it simply, the main reason why the C grade students tend to excel is because of their wit and capability of finding other ways to succeed after a number of failures. They can become the epitome of work smarter and not harder. While the A students can definitely outshine in the intelligence and skill department, what they may lack is the ability to find more ways than the ones that have been tried and tested to succeed, to a certain degree, of course. The biggest failure is stopping at one way to achieve higher grades and more money. Remember, it is usually our perplexity to take risks every once in a while and welcome failures that often lead us to an amazing place in all aspects in our lives. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep you updated on new helpful videos like this one.